Last night into this morning, Fox 11 was over this wild pursuit. A suspect stealing a big rig in Bakersfield and then leading Highway Patrol on a chase that ended in Rancho Cucamonga about 12:15 this morning. Thanks in part to a successful spike strip deployed by CHP. Those spikes shredded those tires. The rubber went flying, the driver rolling on rims. Sparks and flames shot out. As you see, the cab eventually caught fire. The suspect finally pulled over. He made a run for it before being apprehended about 10 minutes later. Now, Tim Lynn is a retired police officer and pilot reporter. He joined me over the phone during last night's pursuit. He's now in studio. It's great to see you face to face and not just hear you. I couldn't have done it without you. Thank you so much.
Well, it was my pleasure. It was a lot of fun last night to sit up with you and follow this pursuit to see where it was going to end up.
It was wild. It was about an hours-long pursuit, and it was dangerous, even though there was not a lot of traffic out, right? We have some images because this suspect was literally taunting the drivers who were on the road. So my first question is, because we covered this so much, we're in Southern California, what do you do if you are one of those innocent drivers who gets caught up in this?
Well, as we talked about it last night, here you have a very large vehicle with a lot of weight that they're dealing with, and this guy is just using it as basically a tool to run people off the road, and he was doing that to other big rigs. Now, a situation like this, going as slow as he was going at times, just doing freeway speeds, the motoring public in front, if you see the lights coming, turn on your turn signal to the right and slowly start moving to the right and move out of the way, let them go by. If you have time. If you don't have time or it's coming up on you very quickly, the best thing you can do is maintain your lane, keep your speed at the set. Don't slow down, don't speed up, and let it go by you, because any movement that you make may cause an accident because of the officer trying to get by you or the suspect going to pass you down the right-hand side, and then you suddenly move right, and then you're hit by a very high-speed vehicle. So you have to just be aware of your surroundings. But if you're caught up in this, do your best to move to the right if you can. If not, just stay in your lane. Okay.
Well, you know, as mentioned, this started all the way in Bakersfield.
Right.
We were on the air with it for an hour, so this thing went on for a couple of hours. A lot of people hearing from on social media who were watching with us last night, why did this take so long for CHP to deploy these spike strips when they did? It was almost midnight by the time that those spike strips went out. What is the strategy for CHP? How difficult is it to bring this thing to an end?
Well, they have to pick the location of where they want to put the spike strips down. You have to think about the officer's safety, because they're out in harm's way on the freeway, and if they're spotted by the suspect could very easily swerve at them. So they're going to get into a position to where the vehicle is kind of boxed into an area, and they're able to hide and be able to pull the spike strips in front of the vehicle without him seeing the officers. And there's certain points along the freeway that they know from just local knowledge of the freeways they work every day where the best spot is, and last night was the perfect spot for the CHP to do that.
Yeah, they did do a great job. Okay, so the suspect makes a run for it. We see this happen all of the time. Suddenly, you have a dangerous person nearby you. For these people, it was this neighborhood in Rancho Cucamonga. What do you do?
Well, for the folks that are in the neighborhood, those are the folks that are now in danger. The people on the freeway are safe now. The officers are going to be running after them, but like we had last night, he ran into a quiet neighborhood. Now you have helicopters overhead, you have sirens, you have a lot of activity. People are going to start being curious, and unfortunately they come out to look to see what's going on. It's the worst thing you can do, because now this person is looking for a place to hide. We watched him go up to several doors, try doors on cars, and what my worry last night, from being a police officer, a police helicopter pilot and observer, and watching this, was that somebody was going to be coming home from work or pulling into their garage, and he was going to yank them out of the car and take off in a new vehicle, because I've watched many pursuits in like that to where they've taken a second vehicle.
Okay, so best thing, stay inside, lock your doors, lock your windows. Okay, we have less than a minute. Why are people so fascinated with pursuits?
Because it's live action. They don't know what's going to happen at the end. There's always, is he going to run? Is he going to crash? And unfortunately, people watch it for the crash. And I mean, they watch for the violent ending at the end. And when it pulls over and stops, there's you could tell there's a little bit of a letdown on social media, how they talk about, you know, what happens, because there are folks that follow on social media religiously, and you can tell by their temperature how it is. But it's mainly because it's live action, you have no idea what's going to happen at the end.
And, you know, we break into programming because it is for the public's safety. We have to let you know that this is happening outside your door. So
Exactly.
Well, retired police officer Tim Lynn, so great to see you. Thanks so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
Okay.